Good morning, everybody. Welcome once again to Monday Morning Gospel Moment. Today we're going to look at a word that is smallish but huge. And understanding its meaning can really change a lot of the text that we read. That word is therefore. By definition, therefore means for that reason, consequently, because of that, on that ground, to that end. Simply put, therefore is a conclusionary statement, and whenever we see it in a text, we need to understand what it's there for. What is it tying into the subject? Why is therefore there for? We're going to look at 2 Corinthians 5:14 through 21. Paul uses this word quite a bit, and we're going to try to hopefully get a clear picture of what Paul's communicating. For the love of Christ controls us, because we have concluded this, that one has died for all, therefore, conclusionary, because of that, consequently, to that end, all have died. And he died for all, that those who live might no longer live for themselves, but for him who for their sake died and was raised. From now on, here it comes, therefore, conclusionary statement. From now on, because of, consequently, to that end, we regard no one according to the flesh. Even though we once regarded Christ according to the flesh, we regard him thus no longer. Here it comes again, therefore, because of that, consequently, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. All this is from God, who through Christ reconciled us to himself and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. That is, in Christ, God was reconciling the world to himself, not counting their trespasses against them, and entrusting to us the message of reconciliation. It's the thing we should be talking about, period. There's a lot of topics in the church today. This one should be constantly discussed. This is our whole point. Every subject has to conclude with because of Christ, because of reconciliation. This is the message that we're to go out and preach. This is what we should teach at all times. Therefore, here's another conclusionary statement. We are ambassadors for Christ, God making his appeal through us. We implore you on Christ's behalf, be reconciled to God. We're going to look at be in just a second. Be reconciled to God. For our sake, he made him to be sin who knew no sin, so in him we might become the righteousness of God. Paul wraps up this whole thought, all these therefores, and because of the work and because of what Christ has done, and we're included therefore, all these statements, he says, be reconciled. Many teach this as a works statement, that we're supposed to be about the business of the king, right? But Paul wraps up this thought with be reconciled. This is not a call to shape up or else. This is a call from Paul to be what we are, to have identity with Christ, to have identity with reconciliation. Paul lays it all out, therefore, so now be identified with reconciliation. When Paul calls us to be, he is speaking from his personal revelation that God has done all that was needed for harmony between him and man to exist. He is absolutely convinced that God has reconciled the world to himself, the total cosmos, actually. He understands that God has done this. God reconciled the cosmos to himself, and he is not holding man's trespasses against him. He realizes that man has been restored to the favor of God and is urging us to walk in it. That's all the be is about. Walk in this. Be connected. Be identified with reconciliation because you are included. The passion of Paul is that we each allow ourselves to be reconciled, or better, to rest in the reconciliation. To rest in the reconciliation. Man, that is good. We not resist God any longer. That we return into his favor. That we come home and come and rest in reconciliation. He uses the word be. It's a declarative statement, not a mandative statement. We are not mandated to perform a certain way. That's not what Paul's calling us to do. He is telling us to conclude these things, understand these things, and then be in it. Rest in the work that is finished. Simply put, you are reconciled. So quit striving to be the thing that you already are. That's Paul's heart. The Mirror Bible says it like this. The voice God has in Christ, he now has in us. We are God's ambassadors. Our lives exhibit the urgency of God to persuade everyone to realize their reconciliation, their redeemed identity. We have been brought back into fellowship with Papa by his choice and work alone. So be who you are. That's all Paul's saying. He's concluded a whole bunch of stuff that the world, the cosmos is reconciled. Be reconciled. So step off the performance treadmill and be. That's it. Rest in the reality of reconciliation. Hope you get something with this. Hope you can carry it through the rest of your week. Till next time. Cheers.